So the question I get asked all the time is, if you just preach grace, will people just not do whatever they want? Why, as Exchange Church, why is our heart one to get people rooted and grounded in the unmerited favour of God? Because the simple truth is this: nothing else will change you. God's heart from the very start was grace and was goodness and was love. Everything that he has ever done for this world and for the people in it is birthed in and initiated in love. And the church has become a peculiar place where actually God's family and God's sons and daughters are placed under sometimes the most horrendous judgment and criticism and condemnation and shame and guilt by people who mean the very best but actually have missed the heart of what the good news of God is all about. Whenever Jesus came, he said something profound. He said, I've come to give you life. I don't want to steal, kill, or destroy. That's what the devil does, but I have come to give you life. And so in my own journey, what I found was this: it's only the goodness of God that has ever changed me. It's only the grace of God, and understanding that independent of my performance for God, independent of all my best efforts for God, the only thing that changed me was when I radically encountered a God who loved me, a God who said, I love you despite what you do. I love you even when you mess up in the worst possible way. My heart for you never changes.
Calling all angels.
And whenever I started to understand that, what happened was that I was able to let go of the pretense. I was able to let go of the trying and the best efforts for God. And I was actually allowing the Holy Spirit to show me who he had made me to be and who he wanted me to be. And actually I found that things in my life changed through a process of receiving God's love and letting him change in me, that years and years and years of attending church, serving God, giving to God, whether it's financially or time-wise, was ever able to do. So that's why my heart is to get people rooted and grounded in love. In fact, Romans 2:4 says, it's only the grace of God that will lead people to change. It's only the unmerited favour of God that leads people to change. And I think the church's job has to be tell people about how incredible God's love is, how incredible his goodness is. People know themselves when they mess up. People know themselves that they have issues in their lives. The key is, how do we overcome them? And what I've found is this: the threat of punishment, the threat of judgment, the threat of all of that actually pushes things further into people's hearts. It doesn't release them and liberate them in any way at all. So that's why Exchange is all about the goodness of God. It's, as Bill Johnson says, impossible to overestimate how good God is to us. He's our healer, he's our restorer. He wants us well, body, soul, and spirit. That's why Jesus came. And so as a church, that's why we preach grace. Because honestly, there's nothing else will change you. There's nothing else that I believe will bring about the life of God in you, like understanding the length, the breadth, the depth, and the height. According to Paul in Ephesians 3, it says when we understand that, then it leads to the fullness of God in our lives. So that's why we preach grace. That's why we preach favour. And that's why we preach that God is good all the time.